Lynette, this journey in certificate of preference, I don't even know how to describe it. It's been amazing in being able to reach out to people that didn't realize that they had a benefit, but also stories.
Yes. Yeah. Very touching. Very touching when you hear the stories of how one lady was displaced 4 times. You know, those kind of stories, when you hear the stories of the survivors, because a lot of them are not here. So we're dealing with a lot of their family members and their stories, but the stories are so touching.
Remembering, I've spoke to people who, as you said, their parents have since passed away,
Right.
but they remember the trauma
Right.
as kids during the time that they were displaced. And some of it was like even during the holidays,
Oh,
during
yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
There was no grace, no mercy on the residents. There was no heart in that. The displacement was very distasteful. And I haven't met a family yet that benefit from the displacement. So I don't know any good stories. I haven't heard any good stories. They're all really, really sad stories. And to be able to contact them to say, hey, there may be a light at the end of the tunnel is what keeps my heart pumping to keep reaching more people and talking to more people.
Well, what's so beautiful about what NCLF and Links and our community has been doing is we're paving the way for a new generation to have some good stories.
Right. Most definitely. There's actually a lot to say to that because there are a lot of youth that are getting involved in the purchasing of the home from the COA program. So that is a blessing, something that probably they wouldn't have been able to do without the help of the COP.
And I know that this is also personal for you. Can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
So my mother and my grandfather owned, and my mother had 11 sisters and brothers, so there were 12 of them. They owned 2 flats on Eddy Street in the Victorians. Actually, they're still standing. They're on Eddy between Webster and Buchanan, the only Victorian standing. But according to the redevelopment at the time when they forced the sale, they were condemning them. They had to be torn down. They had to be torn down, but they didn't. And so that really hurts to know that you just took it from us, gave us crumbs, and now you're getting millions out of it. Yeah. So it's really crystal clear. I've actually been on the front of the New York Times with this about this very same house because it's not fair, and people are starting to look at why did this happen?
And to so many.
You chose the good part about what I do with the COP is that I was 15 or 16. So I know a lot of the people that were displaced. And as I'm going down my list, I'm contacting their families. And I'm able to say, hey, wait, you lived here and I lived there. And we wind up knowing some of the same people. So it is a blessing from NCLF and Links to have this going.
Yeah.
I'm reaching. I've housed so many people, so many homeless people, so many people that when I contacted their family, they say, hey, so-and-so is homeless. Well, let's find them.
And people able to come back
and they're able to get housing through the COP program.
Yeah.
And I had a couple that was able to purchase.
And there are many out there that didn't realize that their families were actually certificate of preference holders. And that's why it's so important to get the word out to anyone that would listen. They need to go to that link. What's that link?
FindMySFCP.org.
Go to that link and see if your family, your descendants may have been certificate holders.
I tell everyone, fill out the form, check. It does not hurt anything to check because it's not just you, it's your kids and your kids' kids. it's a life changer. So I tell everyone, let's see if you on that list.
I've spoken to some who are living, who went through it, and they're like, "Oh, I have my house already," or "That was such a terrible time. I don't even wanna deal with that," and I don't let them off the phone. I
I don't
say,
either.
"Hey, what about your siblings' children, your grandchildren? Like, because of what happened, all your descendants are eligible. And yes, that was a painful time for you, but just imagine what it can do for your families."
Well, you know what else? I tell them, I say, we never know what life has a twist for us. So it doesn't cost you anything to get that COP and have it.
Yeah.
And you have it. So if something ever happened, you always have it to fall on. You always have it in that senior care. You always could take it into senior homes. Let's do it. And that's the end of my spiel with them. Every one of them. Like, let's go the whole 9 yards.
Well, I just have to say to you that you have been such a powerhouse here in the great city of San Francisco, not only with Mackey's Corner and your suicide awareness and prevention org, but just as a voice in community. And you, now your talents are going into housing.
A tour of the Rice is just amazing.
Housing should not just be a benefit, it is our right. And so thank you so much for all that you do. And there's no doubt in my mind that there will be stories upon stories that we will hear. We've just got to get the word out, and people have to, like you said, fill out that form.
Fill out that form. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And thanks for helping through this. I'm able to spread the word more. Look, go to findmysfcp.org and fill out that form. Let's see if your name's on that list.
Last but not least, I do have to shout out NCLF and Links
Always.
because it has been life-changing, even just to hear the stories, to pray for the people, to be on the other end of the phone and give them an ear.
Mine's is even deeper because without NCLF, there would not have been a Mackey's Corner. I had Majid, the CEO, believing in me every little bitty word I thought of. It was just a thought. It was just a thought. But when you have that encouraging ear behind you, that push, that's why Mackey's Corner is where it is today. So I'm forever grateful. And thanks to Links giving me the opportunity to do what I do, talk to people, and then actually have the heart in it already.
Yeah.
I have the heart in this.
And we're from here.
And we're from here. Born and raised in Fillmore. Born and raised in San Francisco. So yeah, it's a blessing. And I do it without a doubt, without hesitation.
We do it for free.
Yeah.
We do it in our sleep.
I talk about the benefits of COP on vacation. I found people on vacation that say, hey, I was displaced, but let's call it in, let's get going. And I'm working on one right now.
In addition to your Mackey's Corner, that's a 24/7, 7 days a week journey and give back. And so thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And by the way, it is 24/7. So if you know anyone suicidal, if you're feeling suicidal, or if you're not sure what you're feeling, you could always call because I accept calls 24/7. I just want you to save your life. I lost my 12-year-old grandson to suicide. I don't want nobody else to go through what I went through. So feel free to reach out to me as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.